It's time for the 1430 Connection on 1430 WNAV and 99.9 FM, spotlighting news, newsmakers, and important community issues. Now, with this week's edition of the 1430 Connection, here is WNAV news anchor Donna Coal.
Welcome to the 1430 Connection. I am Donna Coal. In the studio with me today is Chris Rowsom, spokesperson for the Maryland Fleet Week and Air Show in Baltimore and the executive director of Historic Ships in Baltimore. Chris, welcome.
Thanks very much, Donna. It's great to be here.
So tell me, we're about to get this big show started. Lots of ships coming in. We already had at least one come in that I know about, a big one.
Yes, the Zumwalt is here.
And the Navy's newest ship, the most technologically advanced ship in the fleet, they say.
Yes.
How many more ships can we expect?
We've got 3 more U.S. Navy ships coming in, 2 Canadian Navy ships. We have a National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration ship coming in, the Bay Hydro 2. We've got 2 Army vessels coming. Yes, the Army does have some boats.
Actually, once upon a time, they had more boats than the Navy. I'm not sure that's still true.
Yeah, probably smaller ones and, just utility craft and things like that, tugs and
right.
Let's see. In addition to that, we have our own Pride of Baltimore 2. Also open to the public will be the nuclear ship Savannah on Canton Pier 13. Something that's not open all the time.
That's a sub or
no? Nuclear ship Savannah
okay.
is she's a cargo and passenger carrying ship from the 1960s, the Eisenhower's Atoms for Peace program.
Wow, interesting.
So, yeah, it's something that the public doesn't get to see very often. So a little bit out of the way, a little bit off the beaten track, but it's really neat that we're able to offer that for people to see.
Nice. And these are going to be docked all over Baltimore. That's not just one central location.
Correct. We'll have ships in the Inner Harbor. We will have ships at Fells Point. We will have, of course, the Savannah at Canton Pier 13, and then there'll be ships at North Locust Point inside the secure port, which people will have access to as well, which is also something that doesn't happen very often.
So why is the Fleet, we normally hear about Fleet Week in New York City. Actually, when I was in Seattle, there was a Fleet Week there. There's San Francisco. Is this something Baltimore is going to continue doing?
Yes, we plan on doing this. The plan is to do it every 2 years.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So this falls into line, I guess, we had Star Spangled Spectacular, which was celebrating the 200-year anniversary of the War of 1812. 2 years after that, we had, and this is just ongoing events. It never stopped. 2 years after that, in October of 2014. September 2014, Celebration. And these were events that several ships came in for. We had the Blue Angels flying back in 2014. To see them over Fort McHenry, it's just an amazing sight. We get to see them in Annapolis quite often for commissioning week, but to see them over Fort McHenry was kind of an amazing sight.
It is, and just over the harbor there. It's a great venue for it. Actually, a very much enhanced air show this year. It's twice the number of performers that were there before. So in addition to the Blue Angels, we also have the Canadian Royal Air Force there. We got a great showing from Canada this year with ships and planes. We have some heritage flights, so older planes. There's a number of others that I think people will really enjoy seeing. We have the Geico Sky Typers.
Oh, really cool.
Who will be actually painting or putting messages up in the sky.
And any idea what those are, or you're not going to give it away?
No, I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to be. So.
Okay. Well, it'll be exciting to see this.
And one other, too, a fellow named Scott Francis, who does aerobatics in the sky, and apparently it's quite amazing to see what he does. And he does it all by himself in his very special air show plane. What he does with the plane is really quite spectacular. What the Blue Angels do and the Canadian Air Force do are pretty amazing. This is it's a little different. It's a little different. So people when they see the air show, they will see a lot of very different aerial and aerobatic types of performances. And the air show can be viewed from all around Baltimore.
Right.
So there are, besides Fort McHenry, which is a good spot, but sometimes difficult to get to because it's all the way out on the end of the peninsula.
Right, traffic action.
Yeah, so you can see it at Harbor Hospital. You can see it over on the Canton side. There's and even just from the Inner Harbor, there'll be planes flying over us.
So people with boats get out on them.
Weather's looking good.
Let's keep it that way. So yes, there are some tour boats going out as well, so
Yep.
keep those in mind. In addition, our own parks in Anne Arundel County, I'm guessing, and this is just a guess, don't take my word for it, but we have some of our parks up on the Patapsco River that you might get decent views.
Sure.
When we come back, more about Fleet Week and the air show. What days are the air show?
The air show is Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
It's from 1 to 4. It could start a little early. It could end a little later. They have this technical term is the TFR in place from noon to 5, so it could happen anywhere in that window, but most likely 1 to 4 and Saturday and Sunday.
Perfect. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more about Fleet Week. This is Donna Coal, 1430 Connection. We will be right back. Welcome back to the 1430 Connection. I'm Donna Coal. I'm in the studio today with Chris Rowsom. He's the spokesperson for Maryland Fleet Week and Air Show in Baltimore, executive director of Historic Ships in Baltimore as well. Tell me what Historic Ships in Baltimore is.
Historic Ships is in Baltimore is home port to USS Constellation, to the USS Torsk, which is our submarine, the lightship Chesapeake, and the Coast Guard cutter Taney. And then we also have the 7-foot knoll lighthouse on the end of Pier 5.
Nice. So you know a thing or two about ships, and old ships at that.
My expertise is more in the wooden ships and the sailing ships, but I've got a great staff who we've got a very good knowledge base there on how to take care and how to present the whole fleet.
Right.
People really enjoy those ships.
Oh my gosh,
it's
that's-
really it's a really neat collection too to have all in one spot.
Absolutely. A little something for everybody. And this is our history, our floating history at that. So tell me, speaking specifically about our Navy's newest and most advanced ship that just came in, which arrived on Friday, the USS Zumwalt. People got to see it coming up through the bay. People traveling across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge actually got to look over and say, what the heck is that? It looks a little bit like going back to the Civil War, like one of the ironclads. It's so different looking. Have you seen it yet?
I have. We had a fundraising regatta for the ships on Saturday, and I was on the chase boat, and we got to go by. And it is quite definitely different. And it's sort of reminiscent of, one of the ironclads, or reminiscent, if you let your imagination go, to naval vessels of the late 1800s, early 1900s, the Great White Fleet, just
right.
with the way the bow actually goes forward, and she is something to see.
Here's something interesting. The Zumwalt is being commissioned where?
She's being commissioned right in Baltimore.
That's amazing.
It is. It's an honor to have the ship there and have the commissioning there. It's going to take place on Saturday. They're expecting between 7,000 and 10,000 people there for the commissioning, and
that's closed to the public, though, right?
The commissioning is yes. Well, tickets were available, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners, got on and got their tickets and will be going. It's just an honor to have that commissioning there in Baltimore, and to have it right during Fleet Week is pretty neat.
It is amazing. Are we expecting any VIPs?
Don't know.
Whoever shows up, shows up. You can still tour any of these ships.
Well, the Zumwalt you'll only be able to view from shoreside.
Okay.
On Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
Okay.
The rest of the ships there at North Locust Point, and that's within the port, have tours going on. The reason why the Zumwalt is not open is because she has just such a small crew. She's a large ship, but so technologically advanced that she has such a small crew that they really can't support
large
that
numbers
public
coming
visitation.
through. Yeah.
But the other ships will all be open, so you'll have 2 other U.S. naval ships there at the secure port, and then in the inner harbor there will be one of the U.S. Navy ships will be there as well. It's the USS Carson City.
Right.
And that is a pretty spectacular.
USNS Carson City. Yeah.
Carson City, and that's a really spectacular vessel in itself. It is also sort of a stealth type of vessel, but it's also which you'll notice when you see the paint job, which is like there's no paint, and she's also a catamaran.
Huh.
So she's.
Oh, you know what? I remember. This was in last time too.
It was the sister ship.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
Yep. And actually, she was one of the most popular ships for
because
people
it
to
looks
visit.
so different.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so cool the Canadian Navy is joining in this as well. And those ships are, looks like we have a destroyer, the Iroquois class warship, and I'm not going to even say it. Go ahead. Do you know?
Athabascan or?
Okay, yes. There you go. I would have messed that one up. And the coastal defense vessel.
The Shawinigan.
Right. How did all this start with getting these ships here? Was this all your job?
Me and our partners, in particular, Sail Baltimore, which is the official host for visiting ships throughout the year. And so, invitations went out, and the Canadians responded, and we're really, really happy that they are going to be there. And
how much planning process? I mean, how many years back did this go?
Well, this probably goes back about a year or so. It takes a long time to plan an event like this, and to tell you the truth, before this one is over, we've already begun planning for the next.
And what is the next one?
The next we're looking in 2018.
Nice.
Not exactly sure when.
Okay.
Could be June, could be September. We're still in the planning stages.
And even with all this planning, the world changes, and some of these vessels do become needed because of operations. And you've already experienced that.
We have. That's why we have 4 Navy ships instead of 5, because the Mesa Verde, which was supposed to be the flagship of Fleet Week,
right,
actually was sent on a mission to Haiti to help the people there after Hurricane Matthew.
And we're happy that it was sent there.
Yes, well, and that's our nation doing its job.
Exactly right. All right, we're going to take another short break. I'm Donna Coal. This is the 1430 Connection. We will be right back. Welcome back to the 1430 Connection. I'm Donna Coal. In the studio today is Chris Rowsom. He is the executive director for historic ships in Baltimore. He's also the spokesperson for Maryland Fleet Week, an air show which starts...
It starts on Thursday and goes right through Sunday the 16th.
And there is a nonstop lineup of really cool ships, air shows, also things going on in the inner harbor. Tell us about that.
Yes, well, the ships will be open from 1 to 6 in the afternoon, and then we also have what we're calling the Fleet Week Festival all around the inner harbor, which will consist of, we've got environmental groups and maritime history groups, and a lot of family fun interactive displays. A lot of the Navy will have a presence on shore, as well as the Army and the Air Force. And they'll be there to tell people about what they do, and to be quite honest, get people interested.
Right.
We'll have a Navy STEM truck, science, technology, engineering, and math, so that kids can learn about Navy careers and all the science and technology involved with that.
It's never too early to plant that seed.
It's never too early, and they're great careers, and we've got the ships there to, sort of personify that, if you will. And then we also have to keep everybody happy. We've got the Chesapeake Galley and Beer Garden there as well, where we'll have Maryland and Bay inspired food and local craft beers, and that's right on the West Shore Park, right on the inner harbor, and so people will be able to take advantage of that. We've got some great music there and they'll be able to take advantage of that and watch the planes go over on Saturday and Sunday. And that the beer garden is open on Saturday and Sunday, and also right in the Harbor Place amphitheater, sort of the apex of the Inner Harbor, we'll have a lot of the Navy bands there and street performers, and the Inner Harbor is going to be live and kicking with all sorts of stuff going on.
Wonderful. And great food.
And great food, great fun.
Also, you can take the water taxi from venue to venue around Baltimore, can you not?
You can, and just like it's summertime, the water taxi will be working its way around the harbor and even making its way out to Fort McHenry as well. So that's a great way to get out to the fort if that's your destination.
Quite often, just a little tip, I take the water taxi just for a nice, fun ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to see the harbor. It's a great way to see the ships
Yeah.
as well. You'd be able to see the ships out at North Locust Point from the water, see the ships in Fells Point. One other thing, too, just to regarding North Locust Point, if you want to get out there.
Yeah, and I do actually want to ask, because I don't know where North Locust Point is, unless that's where Under Armour is.
It is,
okay.
and it's basically on the way to the fort.
Okay.
But we have the way to get to the North Locust Point ships. The easiest way is going to be to probably park in the Inner Harbor somewhere, or park outside the city and take the light rail. Use your feet to see the fleet is what we're is what we're telling people. Get into the Inner Harbor, and then we've got a shuttle bus going from the Visitor Center in the Inner Harbor that's doing a loop on
nice.
Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So you'll be able to get out to basically just before you get to the fort is the Wallace Street, and that's where the Navy will have their screening, their security screening set up,
right.
And be able to just get off the Fleet Week shuttle, do the screen, then they'll shuttle you over to the ships, so you'll be able to get right up to the boats.
You've thought about everything in advance to make sure people have.
We have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And all of this information is on the website mdfleetweek.com.
Okay. You also have a Facebook page.
We do. I'm not much of a Facebooker myself, but I think if you just get on there and say Fleet Week.
Maryland Fleet Week and Air Show is what it is. Okay. Sponsors. Let's give a shout out to the sponsors, because a lot of this wouldn't be possible without them.
That's right. And our title sponsor is Northrop Grumman, and we thank them very much for their support. AT&T is our festival sponsor, and also JP Morgan and Lockheed Martin are sponsors, as well as Domino Sugar. So if you're right at the amphitheater stage, that's the Domino Sugar stage.
And if you're a photographer, you'll be able to get photos more than likely of the Blue Angels and whoever else is flying right over the Domino Sugar sign, as I did last time.
That's right.
Which is kind of iconic.
Yep.
Okay, what else? Again, the website one more time.
mdfleetweek.com is the website, and we've got an FAQ page, so frequently asked questions. Hopefully we'll be able, and that's being added to all the time, so should be able to answer any questions that you have.
Chris, thank you very much for joining me today.
You're very welcome. This has been fun.
Thank you for tuning in to the 1430 Connection, winner of the Chesapeake Associated Press Broadcasters Association Best Talk Show. To hear this program again or any of the other 1430 Connections, check out our 1430 WNAV News YouTube channel. We do also always stream live on WNAV.com, and make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at 1430 WNAV. On your smartphones, you can now download our app. Look for us at WNAV. I'm Donna Coal. I'll talk to you next week.